How's everybody doing tonight, today, this morning, this afternoon, this evening? I don't even know, man. How are we doing though? Gonna wait for everybody to trickle in here still for a couple minutes and then make sure my audio is good too. Audio sounds good. All right. Don't want an echo, so we're gonna go ahead and mute that. But yeah, anyway, we are doing my ANW finals predictions today. I'm probably gonna end up turning the face cam off, but that's what's on the agenda for today. Going to be going over the new format for the finals, going to be going over the racing and everything in between, giving my thoughts, giving my predictions, and we'll see if you guys agree. Hopefully, we'll have some conversation around here. I'm keeping the chat up too, by the way, so feel free to chat along if you wish. But here we go. Gonna make sure my audio's still working, by the way. Should be good to begin now. So here are my finals predictions for American Ninja Warrior Season 17. So the format, at least what we believe, we're going to have a group stage is the first type. So kind of like a World Cup, 15 groups of 4 ninjas each. We got a round robin, so everybody races everybody else once. So there's going to be 6 races in each group. So you got competitor A versus B, A versus C, A versus D, B versus C, B versus D, and C versus D, if that makes sense. The top two move on from each group for an even 30, and the top two non-winners move on in order to have a perfect 32 team bracket. The bracket knockout stage is next. Works just like a normal bracket. It's a 32 team tournament. 1v1 races all the way through 5 rounds. We go from 32 to 16 to 8 to 4 to 2 into a champion. Finals are reportedly 4 episodes, by the way. And if I'm wrong about any of this, I sincerely apologize for just not giving a damn because this is what I've been told through Discord, sources on Discord. And that's really all I have to go off of. So let's meet the groups. Starting out with 1 through 4. Group 1, we have Noxa Garamore leading the way with RJ Roman, Taylor Green, and Janique Levet. Group 2, Elijah Browning, Caitlin Bergstrom Wright, Luke Beckstrand, and Jonathan Godbout. Group 3, we have Sean Bryan, Annabella Heinrichs, Isaiah Thomas, Enzo Wilson. Group 4, Isabella Folsom, Jesse Graff, Kai Beckstrand, Donovan Matoyer. Group 5 looking tough with Ashton and Paxton Myler both, Luke Dillon, and Caleb Bergstrom. Group 6, we got Austin Barron, Hunter Ogden, Caden Lebsack, and Nicholas Coolridge. Group 7, Max Feinberg, Colton Scooster, the Frat Boy Ninja, Caden Forche, and Kyle Soderman. And Group 8, we've got Daniel Gill, Karsten Williams, Evan LaValle, I believe it's LaValle, and Carter Ray. Yeah, it's LaValle, that's how Matt does it. Group 9, we've got Colt Elder, Alex Nye, David Bergstrom Wright, the Cake Ninja, and Grant Kinningham. Group 10, we have Sam Folsom, Bray Weinecker, Hans Hertz, Evan White. Group 11, from this past episode, we have Jay Lewis, Joe Moravsky, Lucas Reale, Rachel Deguts. Group 12, we have Jackson Erdos, James McGrath, Christian Hart, Kenzie Hughes. And rounding out our final 3 groups, we've got both the Barons brothers, Jamie Ron and Abby Clark in Group 13. Noah Munier, Amir Malik, Spencer Johnson, and Darren Perez in Group 14. And we have Josiah Papel, Matt D'Amico, Triple L. I'm just going to call him because I don't know how to pronounce that, his second last name. So we got Josiah Papel, Matt D'Amico, Triple L, and Tate Becker rounding out in Group 15. And how the groups work, by the way, it was the first 10 were divided between semifinals 1 and 2. So first first place in semifinal 1, second in semifinal or 10th in semifinal 2, 11th in semifinal 1, 20th in semifinal 2, going like that. So ones and zeros were together, twos and nines, threes and eights, fours and sevens, fives and sixes, ending in that number, seeds ending in that number. And then semifinal 3 was just 1, 10, 11, 20 from those same semifinals for the last 5 groups. But let's move on into my group predictions. And yep, I had that there while editing this prediction, so you already saw it, and you're probably going to see it on every other slide too. But Group 1, I have Knox Garamore, not surprisingly, sweeping the field, going 3-0. RJ Roman in second to still move on to the bracket tournament. Taylor Green missing out, and Janique Levet rounding out. Group 2, I've got Elijah Browning going 3-0. Luke Beckstrand going 2-1. Jonathan Godbout going 1-2. And Caitlin Bergstrom Wright going 0-3. By the way, I am going to pull up my matchups for this because I forgot to do that. Sorry about that. So yeah, going back to Group 1 anyway, I've got Noxa beating everybody, obviously. RJ beats Taylor and Janique, and Taylor just beats Janique. And with Group 2, um, it was tough to choose. I will say that Elijah and Luke race was very tough. But I had to go with Elijah because he's got a little bit more experience than Luke does on the show. I think he's got him by 2 years. Um, Jonathan Godbout, though, I only had him beating Caitlin. Moving on to Group 3, we've got Isaiah Thomas, the fly boy, coming in at 3-0 in first place. Enzo Wilson still moving on to the bracket at 2-1. Sean Bryan in third. Annabelle Heinrichs in fourth. Isaiah versus Enzo was another really tough one, but I wouldn't say it's as tough as Elijah versus Luke. I think he's a tier above Enzo, I would say. Like I'd say Elijah and Luke right now are on the same tier, but Isaiah is a tier above Enzo. Group 4, we've got Kai Beckstrand, not surprisingly at all. 3-0. Isabella Folsom in second. Donovan Matoyer in third. Jesse Graff rounded it out. Yeah, unsurprisingly, Kai Beckstrand wins everything. But the reason I put Isabella second and Donovan third is because I feel like Donovan is more prone to mistakes, and like he can also gas out too. Like you saw him on the invisible ladder. Um, I feel like he's more prone to mistakes than Isabella Wakeham. Isabella, take it slow and steady. Think she's gonna be all right. Think she's gonna beat Jesse for sure. Donovan, that'll be close. It'll be close between the two of them to who gets in the bracket, but I'm going Folsom. Moving on to Group 5, the Milers not moving on. Caleb Bergstrom first, Luke Dillon second. Caleb versus Luke was another close race, and this was one of the toughest groups to actually predict, to actually finally get results for. I think Paxton, either way, any way, shape, or form, he was getting last place in this group. But I was between Ashton, Luke, and Caleb the longest time on who would be the two to move on, and I settled on Caleb and Luke because they have the most experience. Group 6, we've got Caden Lebsack, unsurprisingly, 3-0. Austin Barron not far behind at 2-1. Nicholas Coolridge and Hunter Ogden. Um, Austin versus Hunter and Nick, both of those wins I feel like are going to be pretty close when they do happen, or if they do happen. In my opinion, it's when they do. Um, you know what I mean. But Caden, yeah, easily sweep this field. Nicholas Coolridge, man, he's came back. He's had a freaking resurgence this year. I believe he's hit both buzzers so far. qualifier and semis. Or he might, wait, he might have gassed out. Hold on, this is, okay, this is bothering me, man. I gotta check this. This is bothering me. Let's see. No, he failed the invisible ladder. Okay. But yeah, anyway, he has been having a resurgence this year, especially for a guy in his mid to late 30s. I think he's 36 this year. Um, he beats out Hunter Ogden in experience for sure. And Austin Barron, I just like, I got to put a couple rookies in there, and Austin is one of the best rookies that we've had this year. At least, at least I think he's a rookie. But if he's not a rookie, then he hasn't been on the show in forever. Group 7, we've got Frat Boy Ninja, Colton Scooster, 3-0. Hayden Forche, 2-1. Soderman, 1-2. And Max Feinberg in last. Um, Group 7 was honestly pretty tough. All four of these guys had a real shot to make the top two, so it was just who would I trust in something that's just pure speed? And for me, that's Gooster and Forche. Forche is lighter than Soderman. Soderman kind of makes some mistakes sometimes. You don't see Scooster make mistakes very often, at least from the small sample size that we got of him. And Max, I mean, somebody had to be last. Sorry, buddy. Group 8, moving on. Evan LaValle. That's going to be a very close race, I'll say that. That's going to be incredibly close. Daniel Gill second, Carter Ray third, Karsten Williams fourth. Carter Ray, honestly, pretty impressive rookie. Um, Daniel Gill, of course, staple of the show. He's got all the experience in the world. Evan, though, my God, that kid is freakishly fast. Karsten Williams, just I think he's too old, too big in this sort of new speed racing format. I I don't see him having much of a chance against the other three. Group 9, um, honestly one of the weaker groups out there, but we got Colt Elder in first, David Bergstrom right in second, and Grant Kinningham in third. Alex Nye rounded it out. Um, I think Colt's got a lot of potential as a ninja. I'd say um, by a pretty decent margin, he's the strongest ninja in this group, at least currently at this moment. Um, the Cake Ninja, though, honestly, he's not far behind. Outperformed Caleb Bergstrom in the semifinals. I love pointing that out. Grant Kinningham and Alex Nye both solid ninjas, but I don't think they can keep up with these two. Group 10, um, very strong group here. We got Sam Folsom, Bray Weinecker, Hans Hertz, and Evan White. Evan White and Bray Weinecker, I believe. I know Bray did for sure finish the course fast enough to get a mega wall, and Evan, I believe, was pretty fast as well. Um, but yeah, Sam Folsom, he's one of the fastest ninjas on the planet. I mean, besides like a handful of teenagers, I think he's the fastest, I would say. Um, Bray also shown really, really great speed. Hans too. Hans coming back for the first time since ANW 15, skipped a year. And I don't know how much that's going to affect him. I could easily see him though, like I could see him taking over Bray for sure. I could definitely see him um, beating beating Bray in their race. And then Evan White, somebody's got to be last. Really good rookie, but somebody's got to be last. Group 11, we've got Jay Lewis in first, then Joe Moravsky, Lucas Reale, Rachel Deguts. Honestly, this one, I was a little close on Joe and Lucas, but um, I figured it wasn't really that much of a competition for me. Jay and Joe moving on, and that Jay Joe race is going to be really close, by the way, because Joe still moves just amazingly well for somebody his age. Um, like 30, 36, 37, something like that he is this year. And Jay Lewis, I mean, he looks like he hasn't missed a beat coming off that injury. I think he actually looks stronger than he did before that injury that kept him out of Vegas the last 2 years. Group 12, Jackson Erdos, wasn't really a competition for me. For Not really going to be a competition for him to get in first in this group. Christian Hart second, and James McGrath third, Kenzie Hughes fourth. I like Kenzie's potential, by the way. Her run tonight, pretty amazing. Um, Getting to the eighth obstacle as a rookie, that's a pretty damn good performance. I mean, like we've seen other. I don't know if she was a rookie when she did, but like Barclay getting to the eighth obstacle, stuff like that. But yeah, Jackson Erdos, literally no competition to get the first, and I think just because Christian Hart is younger, he's a little bit more light on his feet than James McGrath. That's why I got him beating James in that race. Right, there's a train going by. Not sure if y'all can hear it. Group 13, I've got Ben Behrens in first, Jason in second, Abby Clark in third, Jamie Ron in fourth. Jamie, I just don't feel like he's really that like cut out for races. I mean, he's got to be in his mid to late 30s. Was never really that fast of a ninja to begin with. No disrespect to him, he's still a great ninja, still gotten far numerous times in Vegas. But with this new racing format and the competition that he's facing, I can't see it. Abby Clark, great season. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the most fun I've ever had watching ANW was watching Abby. And I don't think she gets the recognition she deserves either. Like you hear about like, yeah, Addie Herman, Taylor Green, Katie Bone, maybe some people put her up there, Isabella Folsom. But I don't think you hear nearly enough people talk about Abby Clark. I think she's just right up there with them. But anyway, Ben and Jason Behrens. The only reason I'm putting Ben above Jason is because Ben finished the semi scores faster than Jason did. Hold on, my list went away. All right, there we go. Group 14, Noah Munier, pretty unsurprising in first place. Amir Malik in second, Spencer Johnson, and then Darren Perez. Pretty not a lot of competition. I mean, Noah and Amir are clearly the two favorites here. And I will say the other two had great seasons. Like Spencer, great run tonight. I'm not gonna lie, and I love the story that Spencer had. But Amir, they call him Sonic for a reason, and Noah, he's always been just there's a reason that he's never failed an obstacle, and he's always just been great at racing. Like, and finally, last but not least, we've got Josiah Papel, Matt D'Amico, Tate Becker, and Triple L. I got Josiah and Matt moving on. Josiah first, Matt second. Um, I think that race is going to be somewhat close, but I mean, Josiah is up there in the top tier of ninjas as far as speed goes. And honestly, Matt is just like barely a tier below him. Tate Becker, I think he's got great potential. But going against two speedsters like Josiah and Matt, I don't think he gets out of either of those with W. But yeah, there we are. So now it is bracket time, and I'm gonna get a quick Gatorade. It is really freaking hot out where I am. Even though it's still nighttime, it's still freaking hot out, man. And it was just miserable today outside. Couldn't do anything out there. That's hence why I got Gatorades. Plus, I just like them. I love grape Gatorade. But enough of that rambling. I'm gonna split this into four quadrants so it's easier to see, not as much clutter. Um, so this one, number one seed, Kai Beckstrand. Number 32, Kyle Soderman. I think he's gonna be one of the top two non-winners. Number 16, Luke Beckstrand. Number 17, Matt D'Amico. Then we've got number 8, Flyboy Isaiah Thomas versus number 25, Austin Barron. And finally, we've got number 9, Noah Munier versus the 24 seed Bray Weinecker. This first match, I mean, it's honestly pretty easy to pick. Obviously, Kai Beckstrand's moving on. This next one, I had some trouble. I was going between them. I mean, Matt's got a little bit more experience. I think Luke's the faster overall, so I did end up going Luke to set up a match with his brother in round two. Isaiah Thomas, Austin Barron. I don't think this one's going to be particularly close. I'm going Isaiah. And Noah Munier versus Bray Weinecker. I think Bray could give Noah a little bit of a run for his money, but I think Noah is just going to outrun him. Um, I think Noah just pulls ahead right in the end. If it's a six obstacle course, he's going to pull ahead. Obstacles 4 and 5 probably. So I'm going to take Noah. So we got number 1 Kai Beckstrand versus number 16 Luke Beckstrand. Again, I'm gonna take Kai, even though Luke honestly destroyed Kai's time in semis. I still think that Kai is faster overall. Plus, Kai's got a lot more experience on the big show. Isaiah Thomas versus Noah Munier. I'm gonna take Noah Munier in this one. This is probably gonna be one of the closest races of the tournament, if I had to guess. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if these two were honestly in the second 2 seconds of each other. But now in the Elite Eight to move on to the Final Four, I'm gonna go with Kai Beckstrand to the Final Four. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. Most people consider him the fastest ninja on the planet. I'm pretty sure he's most people's picks to win this year too. And also, sorry if the names go past the lines. I really couldn't do much about that. I wanted to start the stream too. Moving on in a second quadrant where we start with the number 4 seed Jay Lewis versus number 29 Isabella Folsom. Then it's number 13, Colton Scooster, the frat boy ninja, taking on number 20, Enzo Wilson. Number 5, Ninja Josiah Papel versus number 28, David the Cake Ninja, Bergstrom right. Then we go to the number 12 seed, Elijah Browning. He'll be taking on number 21, Daniel Gill. So Jay Lewis versus Isabella Folsom. Isabella being the only woman in the tournament, by the way, if you've been keeping track, she's the only woman. I didn't make Taylor Green one of my top 2 non-winners, or Abby. So Isabel Folsom, the only woman in the tournament, but unfortunately she runs into an absolute juggernaut in Jay Lewis. I'm gonna take Jay for pretty obvious reasons. Colton Scooster versus Enzo Wilson. My God, this was when I was making the bracket a couple hours ago, this was the hardest, probably one of the hardest races to pick. Might even be the hardest. Ultimately, I ended up settling on Colton Scooster just because he seems a little bit faster this year than Enzo. But both really fast competitors. I could see that one going either way. Josiah Papel versus David Bergstrom Wright. I'm gonna go Josiah Papel. I don't think this one's gonna be that close per se, but yeah, I'm gonna go Josiah. And then Elijah Browning versus Daniel Gill. This is the first upset that I have in terms of numbers. I'm going Daniel Gill 21 over 12. Daniel Gill's just got a lot more experience, and he's still barely 30. I mean, he's still going really fast. Elijah, don't get me wrong, really fast ninja too, but Elijah does make some mistakes. I feel like Gil is a lot less prone to mistakes since he's got that experience edge on him. But moving on, number 4, Jay Lewis versus number 13, Colton Scooster. Again, I think this one's going to be somewhat close, but I'm still going to have to take Jay Lewis in this one. And then number 5, Josiah Papel versus number 21, Daniel Gill. Um, Another one where um, honestly, Daniel is. I shouldn't say just another one because it's going to be a real. I take that back. It's going to be a really close race. Like I said, Daniel's still kicking it. Daniel's got a ton more experience than him, 11 years versus 5 for Josiah. I'm still going to take Josiah, younger, fresher, faster, in my opinion. And then we got Jay Lewis versus Josiah Papel. Another one of the hardest races to pick for sure. Uh, I was going back and forth on this, but ultimately I decided to go for Josiah Papel. He's got the height advantage, um, got a higher, got a better wingspan. He's also got more recent ninja experience. Of course, Jay's had that injury. Not that it really affected him that much. He's come back, like I said, looked even stronger than before. But Josiah is just an absolute juggernaut. Moving on to the third quadrant, we start with number 2 seed Noxagaramore versus number 31 Hans Hertz. He's the other one of the two, other one of my top two non-winners along with Soderman. Then we got number 15 Cold Elder taking on number 18 Joe Moravsky, the Weatherman. We've got number 7 Jackson Erdos versus number 26 the Chatterbox Ninja Caden Forche. And we've got number 10 Sam Folsom versus number 23 Amir Sonic Malik. So, Noxagaramore versus Hans Hertz. Both of them ANW 15 rookies. Both of them made the final stage. Hans, I don't believe has ever failed an obstacle. Noxa has also never failed an obstacle. The only obstacles that he failed are the rope climb in ANW 15 and 16, the final rope climb, stage 4. So he's never hit the water. As far as I believe that Hans never hit the water either. Um, I'm gonna go with Noxagaramore though, because he's got more recent experience, and plus I just think he's a faster competitor overall. But Colt Elder versus Joe Moravsky, Colt, I mean, he's one of the most impressive rookies this year. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not even hesitate to call him maybe the most impressive rookie we've seen this year, besides maybe Evan Lavallee. But I'm still going to take Joe Moravsky due to the experience. And Joe, I mean, you saw it tonight. He can still go really, really freaking fast. So I'm going to take Joe 18 over 15. Not really that big of an upset, but Jackson Erdos versus Caden Forche. I'm going to take Erdos. Dominates local competitions, by the way, Erdos. Both of them do, really. It's just that I think he has a little bit more experience. Erdos also has got a little bit more muscle on his bones, too. Um, So I'm going to take him. And then Sam Folsom versus Amir Malik. It's going to be a close race. I'm not going to lie. I think Amir can give Sam a run for his money, but I'm still taking Sam Folsom. One of the fastest non-teenagers right now on the planet. Maybe the fastest non-teenager in Ninja. Noxagara Moore versus Joe Moravsky. Now, I want Joe Moravsky to go really far. I'm going to be honest. Would be great to see an old-time Ninja get make kind of a Cinderella run in the tournament, but Noxagara Moore, man, just my goodness. I don't even know what to say. Believe he was the only person this year to finish the semis course in under 3 minutes. That should tell you all you need to know about him. So I'm going to go Noxa. And then Erdos versus Folsom. I was going back and forth on this one too, but ultimately I decided to go with Erdos. And we've got Noxagara Moore versus Jackson Erdos in the Elite Eight. So to go to the Final Four, I was going back and forth on these the entire time. I'm not gonna lie. I kept going Noxa Jackson, Noxa Jack. Like I could not make up my mind. Um, but I think that Jackson Erdos is coming in with something special this year, man. I don't know what it is yet, but I think he's coming in with something special. And as much as I want to move Noxa to the Final Four, as much of a good race that would be with him and the person who wins my four quadrant, I'm gonna have to go Jackson Erdos on this one. Number 7 seed making it to the Final Four. Our last quadrant before the Final Four for the last spot. Start off with number 3. Excuse me. Holy crap. Sorry for cussing. But yeah, number 3 Caden Lebsack versus number 30 Christian Hart. Number 14 Ben Behrens versus 19 RJ Roman. Number 6 Evan Lavallee versus number 27 Jason Behrens. Number 11, Caleb Bergstrom versus number 22, Luke Dillon. Now, Caden Lebsack versus Christian Hart. Haven't really seen Christian in a racing format. He seems decently fast, but yeah, Caden's just another animal. Take Caden. Ben Behrens versus RJ Roman. RJ's got a lot more experience, so I decided to take RJ in this one, even though Ben has been looking just incredibly fast this year. I'm pretty sure he's like number 2 or number 3 on the leaderboard tonight. Um, but anyway, Evan Lavallee versus Jason Behrens. Jason, great underdog story, man. Biggie Smalls. I mean, like Matt and Arbar said, how could you not love him? But I gotta take Evan LaValle here. This kid is just freakishly fast. And then Caleb Bergstrom versus Luke Dillon. Caleb's got more experience, and Caleb is a lot less mistake prone than Luke Dillon. So I'm gonna take Caleb. Caden Lebsack versus RJ Roman, two long-haired ninjas, two ninjas with great hair, by the way. Um, and two ninjas with great personalities, by the way, too. Not really, can't really say that they're big personalities. They just kind of let their performance on the course do the talking. I'm gonna have to go Caden Lebsack on this one. Evan LaValle versus Caleb Bergstrom, a 6 1 and 11. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Caleb on this one. This is another one I was really back and forth on for a while. Um, but Caleb's got more experience. Evan doesn't really seem that mistake prone, so it really just comes down to experience itself. And Caleb's still really young, he can still fly, turn the jets on. So Caden versus Caleb in the Elite Eight, we got 3 seed Caden Lebsack and 11 seeded Caleb Bergstrom. And I decided to take Caden Lebsack here. I think it's gonna be a close-ish race, but Caden Lebsack, I mean, just another specimen, man. I don't know how else to describe it. But that means our final four is set. Number one, Kai Beckstrand from the first quadrant will be taking on number five, Josiah Papel from the second. And number seven, Jackson Erdos from the third will be taking on number three, Caden Lebsack from the fourth. So, Kai Beckstrand versus Josiah Papel. Another one that I went back and forth on for a while. Both of them are tall, believe both of them crack 6 feet now. Kai's got more muscle, and I mean, Kai, man, I don't know what else to say about Kai that hasn't already been said. Like he's the fastest ninja on the planet. I'm gonna go Kai Beckstrand to get into the championship. And now we go to the other side of the final four. We've got number seven, Jackson Erdos versus number three, Caden Lebsack. Um, Another one that was pretty tough. I don't think I didn't have as much trouble making this decision as I had the Kai Josiah race. I'm gonna go Caden Lebsack here. Um, he's got more experience than Jackson Erdos, and Caden also has a lot of experience in like real, very tight races because Jackson's never raced on a big show before, um, because he skipped 15 and 16 to focus on himself, focus on his health, by the way, which respect, full respect, and I'm glad he's doing well now, by the way. But yeah, just because he hasn't really raced in the big show, he's not really used to it. And Caden has raced people like Kai before. He's been in those safety pass races. I'm gonna take him in the championship. Take him to go to the championship, I should say. So the championship we've got is a rematch of the safety pass races from the past 2 years. We've got number one Kai Beckstrand versus number three Caden Lebsack. And actually, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna explain my decision a little bit. Um, I'm gonna start with Caden. So 5 years of ninja competition. He's lost 2 races. He's lost 2 races on in Vegas, I should say. ANW 15 and 16 stage 2 just made a silly mistake both times. So he's mistake prone, but he's also incredibly fast when he's clicking, when he's just firing on all cylinders. He can beat anybody. He can even beat Kai. Kai. Now Kai Beckstrand, I would call him a lot less mistake prone. Early on, Caden was obviously less mistake prone, but Kai just showed through racing ANW 15-16 that he is just that's just his strength. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Um, so I'm gonna take it. I know it's kind of cliche, kind of a boring result, but I'm gonna take Kai Beckstrand as your ANW 17 champion, 250 grand, $250,000 winner here. Like the safety pass races, I think this race is gonna come down to the wire though for sure. Um, it's just like I'm not sure how Caden is going to do under the amount of pressure that is a championship because as much as much success as he's had as we've seen him have, Like he hasn't gotten up the final stage, ANW 13-14, and then under pressure on stage two, failed ANW 15 and 16. Kai, he's never really felt pressure. He lost to Caden, I believe. I think it was their first safety pass race in ANW 15. Um, believe, yeah. If that's the case, then he beat him last year. So honestly, this one is for a best of three series, and I gotta take Kai Beckstrand on this one. So I'll go through all the brackets again. There's my fourth quadrant. I'll leave that up for a second. There's my third quadrant. Actually, I should probably leave that up. My bad, guys. I'm moving too fast. There's my second quadrant, and there's my first quadrant. And here is my final four. So who knows if the groups are going to be exactly like this? I'm not exactly sure. That's just what I was told. But either way, I'm extremely, extremely excited, honestly, for the ANW 17 finals. Given the competitor pool that we have, like we have so many great ninjas here. We got just these final four guys. We got Kai, Josiah, Jackson, Caden. I mean, we've got Noah Munier, um, Caleb Bergstrom. I'm just talent pool, in my opinion, is just deeper than it ever has been. I mean, heck, who am I missing? Evan LaValle, RJ Roman, like Knox Garamore, um, Joe Moravsky, Jackson. I already said Jackson. Sam Folsom, even Amir Malik. I mean, Jay Lewis, Colton Scooster, Enzo Wilson. Like, half of these guys, probably over half of these guys, honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they got further than I said they would. Elijah Browning, Daniel Gill, like, if this bracket actually comes to fruition, this is stacked. Luke Beckstrand, Matt D'Amico, Isaiah Thomas, like Bray Wyatt, like holy crap, man. Sorry, but I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning. All right, because I feel like it's kind of a good end screen. It was the start screen, but it also is a good end screen. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's late, man. I think I'm on. That was it for my ANW 17 finals predictions. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, stay happy and healthy. Also, sorry, sorry. I'm gonna stay for a couple minutes. I should stay for a couple minutes in case anybody wants to say anything. But man, this is AW 17. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect it to be this good. Um, kind of want to do like a little episode ranking. Why not, man? Last place, honestly, the second semifinal. I didn't really like it. The editing really sucked for that. Um, I think qualifiers, for the most part, were pretty decent. I liked I liked the first qualifier probably just because it was something like I've never seen before. I also liked the last qualifier too with Joe Moravsky at the end. And qualifier four because we finally got the mega walls from Isaiah. I believe it was Isaiah and Noxa. And of course you had Kai get it in qualifier five. Semifinals one was just decent. I don't know. But yeah, this semifinals three, probably my favorite episode of the season. They showed people who actually deserved to be showed. Like they showed Matt D'Amico, they showed Noah Munier, they showed any pretty much I shouldn't say pretty much because we did get some kind of we got some screwballs. We kind of got shafted with Josiah Papel getting fast forwarded, stuff like that. But I mean, and the results themselves too. Like there were some good shocking fails. Ryan Stratus on Lunatic Ledges, Xavier Dancer on the Log Runner. Like it was pretty much everything you'd want in an ANW semifinals episode. It felt like semifinals episodes of the old felt like pre-COVID episodes. I mean, I really enjoyed semifinal three, the last semifinal. But anyway, 4 episodes long for the finals. I feel like it's gonna be 2.5 to 3 episodes for the group stage, and then the rest is for the bracket. I would like to see them spend more than just a single episode on the actual bracket because I think a lot of those races are going to be really good. Um, if my groups are right, I think we can get a lot of top competitors in the bracket, and that's going to lead to a lot of close races, maybe some upsets too. But yeah, so finals are going to be. Is it just going to be every Monday? Yeah, it is. Okay. So episode one of the finals, August 4th. Episode two. Looks like I'm flipping you guys off. I promise y'all. It's my index finger. Um, episode one, August 4th. Episode two on the 11th. 18th is episode three, and the 25th is the finale. If this 4 episode thing is right. Again, the details are pretty vague. I'm just going off of what I've been told on Discord. Shout out Banzu, by the way. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and